Okay, good. Well, uh, I've been playing, I've been playing music since I was in high school. I played drums and the marimba in high school, and of course, eventually I started playing in a dance band with Dick, Dick DePong, the leader, for years and years and years. And we were, and this is 1938 or 39. I can't remember for sure, but I still was in high school. Now I learned now, when I went into the life insurance business after the service, my dad was a general agent for Northwestern National Life, and so after 6 months I qualified to go to a school in Glenwood, Minnesota. And so I went up there for 2 weeks, and the innkeeper had a gut bucket up there. And so, because I was a drummer and could keep time, I started playing the gut bucket up there. And one thing led to another, and I played the gut bucket all over the world. It's been to Mexico, it's been to Switzerland, it's been to London, it's been on the Love Boat to Alaska, even. And so after I got to be a big shot in the company, well then it was my job to get a band together whenever we had a convention. And so I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed doing that a lot.
When did you join?
Well, the gut bucket is no more than a wash tub turned upside down with a bowl in the middle of it to put a string on it and a pole. And you'd be surprised how much it sounds. But in the early days with the Beachcombers, Vinny was the leader. Vinny Marlowe was the leader of the band in those days. And he suggested I put a mic under it. And of course that really, really, really did it all when we put a microphone under it. Because then we could turn it up to, Jimmy would turn it up just right. So I would have a good sounding bass. So you could call it a one-string bass if you want to. Well, in 200, my wife passed away. And a month later, Dick's wife passed away. And we've been kept in touch all through the service and all through the years, family on family. He always was my very, very, very best friend. So I told him after he buried Loretta, and come on down and stay a couple months with me. So he came on down, and we were having trouble finding places to do. Dick said, "Isn't there an ocean around here someplace?" And I said, "Yeah, I can get to the ocean." So by golly, we got in the car one day and drove down there, paid money to park in the meter, and we're walking up to the beach, and we met Frank Gallaudet, who was one of the guys taking care of the instruments, putting up the speakers. And so we said, "What's going on here?" Through the gazebos going up to the beach, and we saw some gentleman didn't know his name, and then of course putting up speakers. We said, "What's going on?" And he told us about the Beachcombers and about the band. And so he said, "Well, it's early yet. You guys go down and have lunch on the beach. Come back in about an hour and come and sit at the picnic table by the gazebo, because that'll be the best seat. You hear the music." So we did what he said, came back, and pretty soon the band came. And we enjoyed the Beachcombers. And this was probably in March of 2000. And so I listened to music, and I had to go put some another quarters in our meter at the parking lot. So I went down there. The big Jimmy Sherry, one of the singers, you heard about Jim. Remember him at all?
No.
And so he told Dick, he said, "You can't sit here. This is for musicians." Dick said, we're musicians, but we just don't have our instruments." So Dick went home, of course, and he spent the summer with me in my lake place in northern Michigan, Charlevoix, Michigan. And so I said, after Christmas, before they take the lights down, come down in between the holidays, because in Florida, they take them down the day after New Year's, you know. So he came on down, and so of course we went to the beach to hear the Beachcombers, see. And so we're down there, and I swear it had to be, the band was playing, it had to be you. And Dick said, "You know, I can sing this to Vinny, the leader." And so Dick sang it, and of course he did well. And Big Jim McSherry said, "Well, have you got your instruments?" "Yeah, they're in Roger's car." "Well, for God's sake, go get them." And so he came up, and we joined the Beachcombers right then and there. Yeah, right then and there we were the Beachcombers. Yeah. Then my brother bought us a big amp, and he came down from Michigan and thought we ought to have better sound. So, and then Paul Mills played the guitar and sang from Pennsylvania, and he thought we ought to have some new speakers, so he bought new speakers, and so we all evolved. And it's funny about the shirts, because, well, first of all, Donna thought we ought to get caps that said Beachcombers on it. But Dick and I went down to the mall, and we decided maybe we should just get shirts instead. So Dick and I bought a shirt and started that out. And then pretty soon we cut the money out of the tip jar and bought everybody's shirts. And so we used to have a 100-year-old saxophone player from Boston, and he said we ought to have our names in the pocket. So I picked up all the shirts and got the names in the pocket. And Vinny said, "Well, we can't tell it's a band." So we got all the shirts together again, and I took them all down and got the emblem put on, the music emblem put on. So that's how that all started. And my daughter surprised Dick and I with the caps at our 90th birthday, because I was 90 in March the 12th, and Dick was 90 in the 21st of March. So that's how that evolved. So.
So Roger, how did you get into music?
Well, my mother played piano, and of course, as the kids grew up, we took piano lessons. I must have taken 6 years of piano lessons, and I couldn't play anything but one or two songs. So one Christmas, my relatives, my uncle and aunt, gave me a table xylophone with hard mallets, and so I started to play that, and did quite well. My mother and I would go out and play for political conventions and play the music before the speakers came on, and I could play. And so that's how. So when I was a junior in high school, I was playing at a nightclub 35 miles away from my hometown, 3 nights a week, and I was, of course, going to school. Well, I was in the band, of course, and the first hour was band. So the band leader said, "Why don't you go and behind the curtains and take a nap?" So the second hour goes homeworking, and guess who had homeworking? The coach had homeworking. So I went working, so I stayed behind there. So finally, the coach said, "You either quit the music or quit basketball, whichever you want." So I quit the music. And then
Okay.
I thought the Johnny Richards article in the paper was terrific because he handled it very, very well, and it gave credit to everybody, and I thought that was wonderful. So that's the future of the Beachcombers is in Johnny Richards' hands, that's for sure, and he's doing good,